Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. Hello, folks. How's it going?
Hey, Wilson,
Good, man. How you
what's up?
doing?
Hey, when I started this movie and I saw you sing that first song, and I was like, I haven't heard that song since the '90s, and and I remember the lines, I remember the lyrics. Started driving around this town, and you sing it, your cover version. I was like, when I first started, I know this song, and then I saw all of a sudden the words came back. I didn't know you had it in you. What led you to take on this role? Did you have to practice the singing, or you just wanted a role where you can sing?
I definitely was, excited about having a role where I could sing just because, I haven't shared that yet, but music and singing has always meant so much to me. And so being able to do that in a film where my character also was from Cincinnati. So like I would have my, family around me as I, shared this part of myself with the world. Like that just felt very, very divine. And then I got to, sing a cover of Hey Jealousy, sober and drunk.
What about you, Thomas? What led you to take on this project?
I just fell in love with the script. I just loved the script. I thought it was very kind of incredibly well written. The characters were well fleshed out, and meeting Nicole and just having that opportunity. I'd done a lot of kind of commercial stuff before, and I wanted to have the opportunity to act and really kind of dive into something into a character. And I love music and I love musicals, and yeah, it was just like a perfect combination of everything that I've always
Mhm.
wanted to do. And it wasn't what I
For each of you.
expected either. It exceeded that, and it was really challenging. It was really much harder than I thought, but yeah,
Mhm,
very very rewarding.
mhm. For each of you, Kiki, what did you want to do to make this your character outside of what the script called for?
I think the biggest thing for me was pouring more of myself into the music. Just because these songs are supposed to be Dandelion songs. Like there's songs that she has written that have come out of her soul and her experience. And so very early conversations that I had with Nicole and the Desners was that, there needed to be more space for me to pour more of myself into the music. Just acknowledging the disconnect of what does it mean to have the Desners, two older white men in their mid 40s writing music for a 30-year-old Black woman. There will be some things that maybe aren't there that should be there if it's authentic to who this character is now that she's being played by a Black actress. And so I think that was like the main place of where I was like, I have to be willing and vulnerable enough. And thankfully the Desners and Nicole were, created that space for me to pour more of myself into the character, in the music.
Mhm. What about you, Thomas? When you read the script, how do you make it your own?
I really kind of connected with Casey and the way that he kind of was. I don't know. I just felt I saw a lot of his insecurities and his vulnerabilities and his validation things in myself, and so I guess I just took it from there, and it was given so much freedom by Nicole to really kind of just play around and just try and find who this person is, and that was a gift to be given, and yeah.
Kiki, how often do you play music?
Play music, like instrumental music.
Yeah, like we see you on the screen now, and obviously you say you were a singer. Now we get to know this. So how often are you playing music, or did you have to get back? Is it like riding a bike again?
I'm always engaging with music in one way or another, whether it's just like constantly singing around the house or, writing songs for myself. It was funny to get back into instrumental music though, because when I was a kid, I played instruments. So getting back into that as an adult, that was probably the funniest part of this movie for me. It was like, ooh, got got a lot to learn here.
We've seen actors come out with albums. Are you going to plan one anytime soon?
I might. I think it's too much a part of my life. And I mean it always has been, but now doing this film, it's just like I can't hide it anymore. And why should I? So I do think some music will be coming soon.
Thomas, what did you and KiKi do to establish a chemistry so that we, the audience, can see it, that there is one, that there is a bondness there?
I think we just had one, honestly, and we did like some exercises prior to some scenes, and it was just non-verbal eye contact and uh, touching each other's hands, and um, but it was kind of already there, honestly.
Mhm.
Mhm. KiKi, you've done a lot of projects. Is there anything you took away from Nicole's direction that helps you out as an actor, skill set wise, to moving on to whatever project you do next?
Um, I think the space that Nicole created for me to have more real conversations, I think that's something I'll take with me moving forward. And I mean, I hope that I continue to work with directors that create that space, but even if it's not as, initially open and collaborative, just knowing that that's something that I can and something that I should do. And I think that's something I'll take with me moving forward, is just being able to show up and have, necessary conversations to fight for, my character.
Mhm. While I have you here, I gotta ask, when are we gonna see Old Guard 2?
Ooh, we filmed it. It was shot. So I don't know. I'm like, that's getting above my pay grade. I don't know what's happening, but when they tell me to show up, I'll be there.
Well, I want to say is, you guys both did an incredible job. I said, the music is there. It's a nice, good, small. I won't say small film. It's a good film. That people can enjoy. If you're not going to see the big films and the action stuff like that. So we want to see more of this. We want to see more of you. I'm sure I'll talk to you down the road on whatever projects you do next. I'm always here to support. Take care.
Good
Thank
man,
you.
thank you, boss.
Bye.
Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. Hello, Nicole. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you, Wilson?
Good. There's nothing about what you like about a movie when they play music you ever heard in a minute, and that's a song you liked. So when she started playing her cover of "Driving Around" this town, the first song she's singing in the movie. Why am I going blank all of a sudden? I was like, okay, I'm there. So how did this come to be for your second feature?
It came together much quicker than my first one. I'll tell you that. I was sort of in a pretty rough place after the pandemic, and everything with my first film had really been canceled. South by Southwest had been canceled, opportunities dried up, went away, and I was in Cincinnati, Ohio, walking around Washington Park and was just writing a poem, drinking coffee. It was really snowy, freezing, and it was Ghost of Cincinnati, and it was really just a poem. And then it sent it to Aaron Bryce Dessner, and it turned into a song. And I'd been writing sort of a character like Dandelion, and a lot of the music, for us, like, came before anything at all, casting, financing, everything. But it was really, this beautiful thing was born from a pretty dark time, and in a dark time for everyone in the world, but also for artists. And so I, the character Dandelion became very clear, and then it was just going through those normal processes of making a film from there on.
Were you looking for singers who can act or actors who can sing?
I was looking for both. I was open to both, but that was one of the most challenging things about this film, was finding someone who could do both. I did not want someone I needed to put through 6 months or a year of vocal training. I wanted someone who just would work with a vocal coach to stay on pitch, help duet. Duetting's really hard, and I didn't have the budget on this film or resources to have them in a room together to test Thomas and KiKi's voices against one another. And so I really needed people who could sing for real, and they both can, and it worked out.
I've seen Kiki's work over the years, but did not know she could sing like this. So was there anything different between her and Thomas that you wanted to do? You wanted to do vocally, that fits what you're looking for. You can sing, but sometimes anybody can sing. Or some people can sing, but the question is, can they sing to what you're looking for? Can they do the range to what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think it was really getting but for both of them, getting their confidence up that you can sing. Nobody had really, I think, pushed them or given them that opportunity or platform to do that before. And even if you can sing, but you're not a professional singer, there's a lot of nerves there. And will I sound bad? Will I sound stupid? Will I embarrass myself? And I think it was just getting their confidence up and saying, you absolutely can sing. You can be in a music movie. You can carry these songs. That's really all they needed. The voice was there, worked with this woman, Fiora, who's just works with Aaron Bryce Dessner, just legendary vocal coach. And she did an amazing job with them. And then we also, once the film was cast and we had KiKi and Thomas, it was sort of letting Aaron and Bryce hear their voices and then maybe tweaking the songs a bit to match sort of what they could do together. But the duetting part's really hard, and hats off to them and the vocal coach Fiora for bringing them together in that way. It's harder than
How,
it looks.
how much research did you do in the music industry to get it right so that when people watch it, they can understand that this is really happening?
Oh my goodness, I've loved indie music my entire life. I love the guitar. I love that instrument. I love Martin guitars. And just there was the music lover in me who knew a lot of this already. But I'm not a professional musician, don't aspire to be. And once Aaron and Bryce, Dessner on the project, I was hearing like their stories from over the decades they've worked in the music industry, and talking to so many women in the music industry and their experiences and how they felt like they've had their voices silenced or their voices tainted. And I felt that way as a woman in the directing chair over the years. But I'll never forget, Bryce Dessner told me a story that completely changed the ending of the film. And I really wish he were here right now to tell the story himself. So I'll try to do it justice. But after he read the script, he said, one of the biggest moments for us as musicians wasn't when we played a stadium or sold out concerts or had massive audiences. It was the first time people knew our lyrics. It was the first time we felt like in a bar. It was like in some dive or something, and it just wasn't. I think he said it was like, I don't know, 15, maybe 30 people there max, but they were really into their sound and they were tapping their feet, singing along. And that was his favorite moment as a musician. And then I rewrote the ending for Dandelion. I was like, it has to be that. And then I also, he inspired that line that Casey has when they're walking through Custer Park about, 15 people in a bar, but they heard me, or really heard me. Might want to put some spoiler alerts up in this interview, Wilson, but that Bryce really informed Casey and Dandelion a lot in that way. There's lots
Having
of stories of musicians that are in it. And one more I'll tell you is, I don't know if you're familiar with Ted Leo and the Pharmacists, wonderful musician, but I saw him play at Sky Bar in Los Angeles many years ago. And this is a phenomenal musician, right? And he's playing, and there's this club vibe at Sky Bar. I'm there to see with my partner to see him, and people are just having a party club vibe up there, not paying attention to him at all. And he leans into the mic and he's like, if anyone's driving a BMW, your car's parked out front. And he's like, never thought I'd say that. And no one's paying attention to him. And so, Ted Leo, if you're out there, the opening of the movie is for you.
So, having done 2 films, what's your takeaway skill set wise from doing these 2 films that you can take on to whatever project you do next?
Boy, there's answers I want to give you and I can't. Let's give you one I can. I think it's to continue I have my crew, right? I have my crew, I have my people I love working with. There's actors I've worked with multiple times. Great Grace Kaiser, who I love. I think it's to continue being upfront with everyone about what the experience on a low budget independent film is going to be. Hopefully my third one is a much higher budget film. But to really, yeah, just to really continue building the tribe and building the team and making sure, you know, everyone's always on the same page. And when you're on these films, like, you know, at this level, you don't have a lot of time. You're always rushing. And so you don't have the time to really check in with every single person. But I think just continuing to build the team. And that's what we all do as filmmakers from our first film. You know, every time you keep building your filmmaking team over the years. And I feel lucky that I found a lot of it on this film.
Well, congrats on this one. Obviously, you know, you've had two different type of films, which is great for you as a filmmaker, because we don't know what we're going to get from you next. I'll be looking forward to that. But in the meantime, congrats on this one. We'll talk down the road.
Thank you, Wilson. It's great talking to you.